Hey guys, just a real quick note. Apologies that this episode of Chatty Tuesdays is going up on a Wednesday. This is Mike Ebeza, by the way. I obviously host it and I also edit it. And I just ran out of time yesterday, basically. Just too much to do, too little time. But I thought I'd still get the episode out there to you, so here it is. Chatty Wednesdays, I guess. Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Chatty Tuesdays. Do not adjust your sets. This is not WWE 2K Battlegrounds. We're doing something a little bit different this week. We are joined once again, for the first time since week 1, by Scott, who is co-founder of EWA, but also our big creation guy. He makes a lot of our stuff. So we're going to go through some of the creations that we've seen so far, maybe something we haven't seen yet, so stay tuned for that, and just have a talk about the process of what goes into it. So, hello Scott.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, the process.
We run out of guests already, so we've got you back.
Hurrah.
No, to be honest,
it's like a good time for it.
Yeah, it's a timing thing for me, because of the thing I want to reveal, the thing that's not been seen. I just thought it'd be fun to do it on a Chatty Tuesday, rather than reveal it on the show itself. So we'll talk about that later in the episode. But for now, as you guys can see on the screen, we've got a few arenas. You might recognise a couple. The EWA arena, obviously, you'll recognise if you've watched any episodes. And then down in the bottom right, there's EWA Genesis, which was our Sunday special we've had. The other ones, Custom Arena, I don't know, maybe that's a work in progress. Ground Zero's not in use. Animosity we've got no plans for. Dublin or Nothing's a long way away. Elite 4 we've got no current plans for. Exodus a long way away. So nothing spoilerific in there, if anyone's looking for anything amazing to read into this. But yeah, we're just going to go through sort of what process goes into a few of the creations. And we're going to start with the regular weekly EWA arena, because where else would we start? So we're screen sharing. Scott's in charge of the button pushing. So we're going to go into... look at that. We're going to go into the arena and have a look around and see. And he's going to talk us through it. I'm going to edit it, I guess.
Alrighty. No.
Got a nice Roman
Reigns. Yeah, I'm going to... Yes. I wonder who wrote that for him.
Yeah. Frank Gerwitz.
So here we go. So I'm just going to go to the camera. We don't want to look at the crowd.
No, don't look at that.
But yeah, so...
Sorry, I'm the face commentator, aren't I? Never mind. Hello, attractive audience. So yeah, like...
One thing I heard about this camera, it can be a bit jerky, so forgive the movement around and all the rest of it.
That's fine. They're used to watching me try and play Battlegrounds. They're used to it being bad video.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, this is like shaky cam from Hollywood, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, it's sort of like it's weird how the creations of these sort of things go. Like it doesn't look like a hell of a lot goes into it as much as, you know. It's weird. To some people, when they look at it, they say, "God, a lot must have gone into it." Other people look at it and go, "Well, you know, pretty easy to see what I sort of plugged together there." Honestly, it's sort of midway between. Most of the time when I sit down to create something, I've got like a general idea. So I've sort of got, wouldn't call it I didn't picture what you're seeing here in my head, but I had sort of a general idea. I wanted to use a fair bit of blue with the red writing. I knew that much.
So you had a bit of a colour scheme in mind.
Yeah. I came in with a bit of a basis of where I was going to work from, because I've tried going into creation from scratch with no clue what I wanted to do and just throw crap at the wall, see what sticks. There's a lot of crap that gets thrown, and then normally my controller almost does as well. Yeah. So it's easier to go in and just
to
come
build
in with
on that,
a game plan.
That red and blue thing, just real quickly. Just want to fill people in on the history of that, because I don't know if this is what was at the front of your mind, or if it was just somewhere in the back of your mind when you were thinking that. But when we first started EWA, and we've already talked about how it was like 3 years ago, and it's taken us this long to get an actual product we're happy with onto YouTube. But we started, and we were going to have 2 shows, and we were going to have yin and yang, but we were going to base it more on and yang from the Korean flag, and one was going to be a blue show, one was going to be a red show, which explains like the dragon logo being like a yin and yang. And also, I don't know if it's consciously or subconsciously, I don't know if you can even remember, because we've had this arena for a long time now, but I think the fact that we were going to have a red show and a blue show, when we decided we were only doing one show, it became a red and blue show a little bit.
Oh no, it was a conscious decision, because you've got to... what people wouldn't know, and you saying that reminded me, is what we're looking at here is almost a very much carbon copy from the same weekly arena we had in 18. So this is almost the exact duplicate of when we ended up not doing the 2 shows and having red and blue arenas, the red and blue colours put together. So this one, it's good to start on to sort of just explain how my mind clicks sometimes. Can we explain how my mind clicks?
Oh,
but yeah, because this was fun for me to get together, because of course it was that case of I had the 2 colour schemes I need to bash into one. So pretty much, as you can see when you actually look at it, it's just red and blue everywhere.
Yeah.
Like up
but it's
there.
not, at the same time, I wouldn't say it's overwhelming. I wouldn't say it's a problem. I wouldn't say you're ever aware that you're just looking at red and blue everywhere. It sort of just works, so you don't... I've never sat and thought, God damn, this place is blue. You know?
No.
It's a good mix.
And it's that's one of the thought things I actually have going on in my head. Like, I'll sit there and I'll look back at the stage, I'll look at the ring, and I do them bit by bit. Like, I won't move on to the ring, which is what we're looking at here, until I'm happy with the stage.
Okay.
Which includes the ramp, and then I'll move down. And the announce tables are the very last things, because the announce tables, as you can sort of see, and you'll notice if you have a look at the announce tables with all the arenas I do, they're essentially just a copy of something I've done on the stage, or ring mat, or elements of the apron. I make the one thing I wish they really would do is you cannot custom those bases. Is you can just choose the color, and there's not much else. I can't put any images. I can't do anything really, because initially my idea was, and this is sometimes when I get frustrated, because I came in. Of course, this is one of the first arenas I was really building, and I liked what I did there, and I wanted to put that design on the base of the announce tables, not on the top bit.
Okay.
And because I couldn't do it, it was frustrating. Well, I was going to have something, I can't remember because it was so long ago what I did have on that top, but I didn't have that design there. I had a different sort of thing. It wasn't just plain, it was like a different pattern there.
The pattern on the top
of the
plain
ends up
bottom.
working.
I like it. But maybe that's because that's what I saw first. I never saw the vision in your head. This is just the arena I saw, so I've not seen the alternative, if you like. Yeah.
That's it. Well, once I just that is a thing you can't do, I've never really had a problem with it since, because I've been aware of that issue, so I'm not coming in with a mind process of I'm going to do this with the announce table. Like, you know, you have those glorious plans and they get shot down, and then you just have that little bit of disappointment.
Yeah, so I think what we were talking about as well, about not being overwhelmed with the red and blue, I think what I've seen in the past with other people who have made custom arenas and stuff, you know, like I've had a scroll through CC on different games and looked at custom arenas, and one thing is you can tell, like, when someone gets something in the mind that it's going to be red and blue, literally everything is red and blue. The barricades are red, the mats are blue, the turnbuckle pads are red with a blue thing on it, and you've kept some black and grey in there to sort of separate it all out and make it look a bit more like a real arena. It looks less like a creating arena and more like a real arena, because they would still use black mats. You know, like, there's no reason to start using technicolor mats and stuff like that, and sometimes it'll fit with the theory of the arena, but for the weekly one, where we're going to be seeing it week in, week out, I think it would be too much, and that's why it's a good thing that there's a lot of black and grey to tone down the red and blue, you know, to sort of work with it.
Well, that was, with this weekly arena, that was one of the actual things I sat here, and as I was making it, regardless when I was making it, I kept that in mind. This is going to be something we, as people playing in the game, are going to be looking at this screen right here a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. So I wanted to make sure that this was not necessarily appealing, but at least aesthetically, I think I pronounced that all wrong, but hey, who cares?
No, I think you're good.
Pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, and like, not too much.
So we're not sitting there, it's not gaudy. It didn't, I wanted to make sure, like, I play tested this arena with a few of the inbuilt in-game characters, but I got a lot of contrast of what was available to make sure that, you know, it wasn't a case of, all right, you got someone in yellow tie there, oh god, they look off into it. Yeah. This one I play tested a lot when I first made it, because it was the first one that I really, because I did make the Ying one and I did make the Yang one, but they never saw the light of day. This was essentially the first arena I was uploading to CC that people were going to be downloading. And for a bit of background, everyone, I never created an arena or a belt before EWA.
Yeah, it basically,
Like,
Scott kind of fell into our laps a little bit because we had our management team and we were like, we're going to need an arena. Who wants to make that? And there was crickets. Like, everyone was like, I'm away from my phone at the moment. I didn't see this message. And then Scott was like, fine, I'll have a go. And then it turned out Scott's actually pretty good at this. So...
Yeah, so it stunned me. I don't think there was anyone more surprised than me after the first one I made. And I made it and I'm looking at it going, oh God, this looks... And I don't know why, I'm just super... Michael attests to this. Like, whenever I make a new arena, he gets screenshots after I think it's finished. It's like, well, I think it's done. And if he doesn't react, I'll keep looking back at messages like, he'll react now, I guess. I need to know. Like, is this all... It's taken a while for me to get over that hurdle. Nowadays, I send you the screenshots after it's done, and if you go, oh, look, I don't like that, I was like, tough, it's already on CC.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I've done.
Yeah, that's the thing is... I think it's fair to say I can, with regard to EWA and my sort of management role, I can get quite involved in a lot of facets of it. It's nice... just through experience to know I don't really have to be involved in this. Like, sometimes I'll come to you with an idea and be like, hey, can you make this into an arena or whatever, or a belt, which we'll get onto in a minute. But in terms of like, once I've given you that idea, or we as a management team have said this is going to be the next show, it's just like, right, Scott's going to send me screenshots of the finished product at the end, and I'm probably going to like it, because I can't think of an arena where you sent me it and I've gone, damn, I don't like that. You know, like, I just can't think of that having happened. And we've seen a lot more arenas than the YouTube audience have. We've seen, like, 2.5 years worth of arenas, a pay-per-view pretty much every month, you know. So...
It's really good because I've never had one of those reactions to me. It's probably, over the years, it's built my confidence. Like, it's crazy to think for 3 years every game's come out and I've created, like, 12 odd arenas on each one. No, except for 2K20, because no.
Because no. Less said about that, the better. I will, we'll finish up talking about this arena in a second, but I will say the one thing I just sort of put my trust in you and just sort of bit my tongue a little bit when I first saw this arena, and it was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure if that'll work, but I'll give it a second, I'll give it a minute, was the pattern on the ring mat. I'm not used to seeing like a patterned mat, so if we could look at the ring, the actual...
Oh yeah.
I was like, is that going to be a bit distracting? And honestly... Once I got used to the arena, I think it was about the 3rd episode of Weekly TV, while I was commentating with Bane, I was like, oh yeah, there's a pattern on the mat. It just completely blends. It disappears. It's weird. It's like, it's there, and it'd look weird without it now, but I'm not consciously aware of it at all. And I don't know if people can let us know in the comments, like, if it's distracting to them. I have a feeling most people will agree and just say, yeah, to be honest, I never noticed it was that patterned. You know, there was that much on the...
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Because that was a gamble on my part. I don't know why. I know I was toying around with different matte colors, and I didn't like anything, and I didn't like it as a straight black matte. For some reason, it just wasn't clicking with me.
Yeah, I think a black matte would fit, going until something blend in with the background too much. Like, with the mats in the far side and the barricade, I think it just looked like there's no ring there, almost.
Yeah, we put him in a playpen.
Yeah.
But before we leave this arena, I would like to point out one thing that the regular viewers have probably noticed something in the videos, and this is, going a bit behind the curtain, and you'll be able to tell when it's the arena that's come off CC with some people. I know 1 or 2 people have fixed the issue. You'll notice a light down on the ring as they're wrestling. Well, I don't know where that light's coming from, because this is how I made it. And then I put it up on CC, and it's all of a sudden, what's this blue light that's on the ring that people are wrestling in? And it's like the header or something, like this thing here.
Yeah, but it's never been turned on. It just, when it went on CC randomly turned it on, so when people downloaded it, they were like, oh, that must be right then. Yeah, so some of the matches are in different lighting, but no one's complained yet, so...
No. It's just, I just thought while we're on this, it's just to point out that little entertaining side of it. It's like, no matter what I do, there seems to be something that makes me, when I watch someone else have downloaded, I look out and go, did I do that?
Yeah. So, speaking of did I do that, I think the next thing is a particular point of pride for you. We're going to flip over now. We're just going to do a quick jump cut and some little transition effect. Woo! Magic of video editing. And we're going to have a look at the EWA Championship belt now. So, we'll see you over there. Alright, so this is the, quite frankly, in my opinion, beautiful EWA Championship belt. I love this belt. Like, it is legitimately one of my favourite world titles, period. Forget in gaming. I just really like this belt. The funny thing is, though, I'm not sure how it would look in real life. I think it really suits being in a video game setting, but it's just beautiful. I don't know if people would complain about it in real life, but in the game, it looks amazing. It's just, I genuinely love this thing. I know you do as well. It's got the blue and red. Yeah. So
of course,
the arena was first, right?
Yes, the arena was first, and I was really, really nervous. Like, I thought, like, it helped with the, one of the things that spurred me on with doing the creation is, like, you guys have seen Taylor, Mike's seen a lot of my other creations, and that's sort of where it came from. It was pointed out that my custom characters look pretty cool. Like, I always thought they were like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, yeah,
but everyone was saying they look great and all the rest. So it was... Yeah, it was a case of, all right, if you could do that, you should be able to do the arenas. I found arenas once I got the flow going, fairly simple, pretty straightforward cut, and, pretty block building, easy. Belts, on the other hand.
I do remember back in the day, I used to have a 9-to-5 office job, and obviously I'm in England and Scott's in Australia, but Scott used to be quite the night owl, so while I was at work, I'd just have these messages pinging through from Scott like, I can't do this, and I'll miss out most of the words of that message when he's making a belt or something. That's when I get the most sweary messages, I would say, is when he's making a belt. It's a frustrating experience from what I can understand.
Yeah, because these are where you will picture something in your head. You can't help it. You've got an idea.
Yeah.
And you'll go running into here, and you'll find out 90% of the idea you have is useless.
Yeah, you can't do it.
It's either the game mechanics with the creations just won't allow you to do that idea, or you just aren't able to for whatever reason. So it's quite interesting. And this is I'll zoom in a little now.
So...
This is quite a point of...
I want to play a little game with this belt. I want to make some observations, and I want you to tell me, like, how much of it's intentional, how much of it you see now but must have been subconscious, and how much of it I'm just reading too much into. So the first thing is I noticed the colour's different, it's blue, but we've got the same background as the ring mat. Is that intentional? That seems like the same pattern as is on the ring mat.
It wasn't intentional to start with. It was another case of I was toying around with the strap. For whatever reason, it wasn't just clicking for me with the plates, because I had the plates all finalized and I was going through the strap. And again, it was a case of when I did it black, I wasn't 100% happy. And I just kept trying all these different things, wasn't happy. And I started toying around with the patterns, and I stumbled across this one. And it took me a while to actually accept that I liked this pattern for it. Because initially I knew it was the ring one, so I wanted to avoid, it's just, and I really did try and avoid it, but every time I went to something else or tried something, this seemed to just come back like, no, it doesn't match up to that. So I don't know if it was a subconscious, it just clicked around, but for whatever reason, I couldn't leave this strap just bare. So it had to have another look to it.
Yeah, my follow-up question is, what was the decision behind not making it black and white like the ring mat? Why is it blue? Like, why is it black and blue instead of black and white? Not a complaint. I really like this belt. I'm just curious what changed.
Weird as it is, it's literally just that I couldn't quite put my finger on what I didn't like about it. And I went back and toyed with the plate and all the rest of it. Keeping the strap, I had it black, I had it grey, I did it blue, I did it red. I did it keeping it normal. I went through quite a diverse range of colours that would be, intelligent design for a belt like we had going here. Like, I wasn't toying around with, like, pinks and yellows and stuff like that. It would be too heavy of a contrast. But for whatever reason, I wasn't happy with it. And it just boils down, I wasn't happy. So I kept going over and over, and I stumbled over this. And one thing I don't know how many people have picked up, but I really like the shattered glass effect that it gives it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, definitely. It's just...
Like, because...
It stands out to... It's another one of those where, again, you've clearly got a colour scheme, but one thing that I think a lot of belt makers make, one mistake I think they make on CC, one sort of issue I have with a lot of belts on CC, is the something you've not done here, which is colouring in the plates. The plates are silver. Everything else can be coloured. The strap has colour on it. There's outline that's red and blue, and it's all colourful. But then the plates, it's like, no, it's still metal. It's still just, we're not colouring it in. It's silver. And I think that makes it stand out. I think that's, from a lot of other places where, again, you'll see like a custom belt. And if this was a custom belt made by someone else, just with the same design, I would expect the middle dragons to be red and blue, or and it's like too much of a good thing kind of thing. Like the colour scheme is good, but you can put too much colour into it, and I think it's nice. And I reckon the strap would be red with blue shatter instead of just black with blue shatter. I think
you can't do that. You can't two-tone that shatter effect. That's one of the restrictions that actually has been frustrating with other designs I thought I'd had. I ran off going, I'm going to do this, but I know exactly the pattern I'm going to use to do it. And I go there and it's like, I know exactly the pattern I'm not going to use to do it. Because for whatever reason, that is a one-choice colour. When I started going
so that
to the
strap
blue,
had to be black and blue, and you just got lucky.
It had to be. It was like... The blue colouring can be a different colour, but it sort of also gives a bit of effect through the black. It's weird how it works. It really is. It's one of those things. If I've got to be critical about one thing with the 2K colour system and everyone...
Start a list.
Yes. Hold on a minute, it's over here. No, it's things like that. Like anyone who's created a character, an arena, a belt, anything in this game would understand where I'm coming from, because we've all probably had it at that point. There's some restrictions with being able to just freely colour things. Yeah. That sometimes it just, you can't do it. It won't allow you to, like, on some boots have the kick pad one colour, the shoes a different colour, because for whatever reason they're on the same colour map.
There's only,
if you want
like,
the black base of the boots,
there's a pair of boots with like 20 different parts, but it's only 4 different colour layers. So like when you change one colour layer, it changes like 5 parts, and it's like, but I didn't want them to be the same. I wanted those 2 bits to be different. I get you.
That's always been, when it comes to arenas and belts, one of the biggest hurdles I've had. The fact that I'll have an idea that's based off, because nowadays when I've gone to create arenas and belts, I've got a general idea because I've toyed around with arenas and belts trying to make other things. I've thought to myself, some of the arenas that you guys will see in the future that are here have literally came about because I've gone into it to start building an arena, and I'll start working on an idea that I've got, or a video or something that I've liked, and as I'm building, it's like I'm looking at it going, well, this doesn't fit this pay-per-view name anymore. Well, I'll save you as work in progress, and I'll get back to you later. Then get on to the job that I'm meant to be doing. And, it's amazing how that sort of thing has happened.
Yeah. I imagine there's a lot of... I mean, I don't know if I'm sort of blowing too much smoke by calling this, like, artistic, but it is. It's a creative endeavour, and, like, I feel like a lot of artistic people will have that issue. Like, I can fully imagine bands, like, writing a song and being like, yeah, we really like this, but it doesn't fit this album, or just as an example, or some really good line in a TV show or movie, and then being like, but doesn't really suit this character. I'm going to sit on that line and I'm going to create a character that more suits delivering that, or stuff like that. I can fully picture that's a regular thing where people have an idea that doesn't fit what they're currently working on, and they just stick it in a folder of to use in future, and like at some point I will come back to that, and that will be something I use, So do you have anything else you want to contribute about the belt? Any hardships or anything you like about it?
Hardships. Well, something that gets me, I'll go with negatives, because they're always the seemingly easiest to sort of willingly point out.
Bad news sells.
One thing that really, really agitated me is, as anyone who's created belt, what you're seeing there with that circle, that's another relief, as they call it, design that I've had to, stretch out to fit that thing.
Yeah.
Now, this is what irritated me. To get those dots and the champion and those to line up where I wanted them, where you see them, I couldn't quite cover the plate properly.
Okay.
So as you can see, there's little shades of blue that go over the edge, and then there's silver on the edge of that. Yeah. Like, you've probably, no one's probably ever went into it and looked into it, but, there is something that to this day I know is there, and it bugs me.
Yeah.
But
so there you
other
know.
than
There
that,
you
like,
go. Something you never knew about the EWA Championship. And I sort of noticed
'cause
the
if you
silver
actually
on
look
the
at the
side
side
plates a bit
plates-
more, I would say. Like, kind of
well,
coming
I
over.
deliberately able to. If you look at the side plates, they almost look equal
Yeah.
how they were meant to be with that, and they were easier to line up how it was because I didn't have champion written there.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There's what Scott doesn't like about the EWA Championship. And to be fair, that's very nitpicky, and it needs to be, because the overall image is very nice.
Now, this is something I really like. And I don't know how many people have done this. This is something I do at the end of before I finish making every belt, I do this. And if I don't like the look of what I'm about to do here, I'll scrap the belt and I'll start again until it fits this thing. So it looks great here, right? It looks phenomenal here. Now, if it didn't look good in this, I would have scrapped it. But it looks phenomenal.
So we look at the different lighting. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because this is how it would look when it. That's how it looks when you do. When we get the cutscenes when the champion's in the ring and all the rest of it. That's
when Drake Duber held up the championship. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. That's the look. That's the match line.
Did you see that when it glistened really bright? That way it goes almost white. The center plate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like this is the point that I go to, and if this doesn't work how I want, because this is more than likely how people are going to see the belt. This is how I see it, because they're not going to go into the backstage as it says there. That's how it looks like in the backstage promos and all the rest of it. Like, you don't see it a lot there. You'll see it when you're walking down to the ring, when you download it, and all the rest of it. So that's in there. I mean, of course, you got. I don't know why you got daylight. I guess it's that
outside
WrestleMania
arena. I guess.
Black light, I guess, for entrances that have it, I mean, you got lights off for whatever. I don't know. It's sort of expected.
What do you expect it to? Everything's black with the lights off. What are you doing, 2K?
The only thing I could think is this is good if you're doing a belt that's got a lot of heavy glow effects to it. You can turn it off and see it. But
fair enough.
That's my main one to go to.
Okay, cool. There you go then. We know the process and we know what makes a belt pass or fail at the end after hours of work. He'll click one button and look at match lighting and go, nope, dismissed.
I have literally, I wish I was kidding, I have literally backed right out and hit delete on a belt once because of how hideous it looked in this match lighting and just went, fuck it, I'm starting again.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I'm pedantic, like I am really nitpicky.
No, I appreciate that. I am pedantic as well, it's why it works, I think. So, we're going to go on to another arena now, and I think we're going to do a reveal, because we've talked a little bit longer about the first two things than I thought we were going to, so we were going to talk about the Genesis Arena, but the Genesis Arena, I think, as good as the backstory is for the arena itself is one of your simpler creations, I think it's fair to say.
It is.
So I think we're going to take a more in-depth look at something a little more detailed, and something that our audience haven't seen yet, and we teased it on commentary. This Saturday, we've got a special event coming up for Halloween, and we have a special arena. So the event's going to be called Trick and Treat. It's still an episode of the weekly. It's not a Sunday special. It's sort of halfway between just a normal episode and a Sunday special. It's a special themed episode.
We're more celebrating the Halloween aspect of this coming weekend more than anything. We're embracing it. So imagine this would be like the Christmas edition of Raw or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's pretty much just
exactly
a bit of a theme running through it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's going to be interesting to show everyone this. So we're gonna head over there. We're gonna do a little jump cut or a fancy little bit of video editing, whatever I end up doing, and we will see you in the Trick and Treat arena.
See you soon.
Okay, so as promised, coming up on Saturday, Trick and Treat, and this is going to be our first ever look at the arena. So there's the Trick and Treat logo. This is actually in the entranceway, under the video wall that's above the entrance. So we're right up at the top of the ramp, and we're going to do the reveal. So take us away,
there's no
Scott.
ramp on this one. It's a flat.
Okay, well, it's a flat ramp.
It's a flat. Yeah, see, it's just a walkway.
As you can see,
look,
Halloween-y. We've got gravestones. We've got the creepy EWA logo above. We've got the video wall at the top showing graves. Talk us through it all. And there too.
Alrighty, okay. So, I'll just say the first thing that I need to say straight out of the gates. Considering we didn't have to worry about doing what would have been a reset during October for a new game release because there wasn't one this year, and it's no secret about it, we were able to do a Halloween episode, and I'm pretty sure Mike heard the squeal of excitement I had from where he is.
So, yeah, I do want to point out, though, that I came to you and was like, so Halloween Falls... And so, this is what I bring to the creative table. Scott brings all the ability to actually make the ideas become a thing. Me, I have this borderline obsessive nature with relation to dates, anniversaries, stuff like that. So when I saw Halloween was going to fall on a Saturday, I came to Scott and went, Halloween episode, we need an arena. Do your thing. Kind of, and this is what we got, this masterpiece.
Yeah,
so,
it was pretty much, I'm pretty sure I swung around, I was like, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yep.
And I lied. I thought I did. Again, this arena is probably the best example that I can produce of me running in with a great idea. It was a wicked idea. It was going to look sweet and sick and the best thing I've ever made, and not one element of what I wanted to do actually worked.
Right, it looks sick and sweet. And I'm not going to say the best thing you've ever made because there's a lot of contenders for that. It's up there though. It's not out of the list. It's in the list. I can't classify that anymore. There's too many creations.
No. Well,
it's like trying to say what's your favourite, like, let me think of an example. Naito match in New Japan. Like, I don't know. Like,
all of them.
Exactly, all of them.
What I mean by that, there are aspects of the arena that this arena is great to talk about. The EWA arena that we were previously looking at, there wasn't really any elements in there I couldn't control as far as how they looked. Here we do.
Okay.
The tombstones, the coffin, the brick wall, little tower thing there, the work between the Titantron you see there, not the actual what's in each square, but like that rusted steel sort of look.
Yeah. The sort of the frame, if you like.
Yeah, the frame. Yeah. That's default. I can't do a thing to that.
Wow, okay. Thanks, 2K. I mean, it looks good. Yeah. Like, it looks good as it is, but thanks, 2K, for not having the option.
Yeah. No, that's it. Like, I couldn't make those bricks look any darker or say I wanted to put a shade of green because we're in Ireland and I wanted to use it for, something up there.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Who cares?
Or the blood splatter all over it or something.
Yeah. I had an idea because they got in, anyone who's played around with the arenas would know what I'm talking about. They got these big crosses that have got like cloth hanging off them and all the rest, and they're just white. And I thought, I could just so make that look like some real spooky... Hopefully, it was in my mind if I can get it to work and really go to town with it, with putting on some images or fiddling with pattern work on it, I could really possibly make that look really, really cool. No, you can't do nothing to it. It's just a white cross with a sheet on it. So, it's great.
So it stops looking like a Halloween arena and starts looking like a highly racist arena. So yeah, let's skip over.
Yes, that looks. Yes. We'll ignore the what it implies completely and just it was horrible. So
gravestones down at the side of the entrance ramp.
Yes, this has got one of my favourite bits because again, as I said, you can't edit these things. So 2K in their infinite wisdom is telling us Elvis is alive. But so you can't change that.
We've got Beloved, Dead, Farewell, and Elvis Lives, of course. Which, incidentally, have you ever noticed is a anagram? Lives is an anagram of Elvis, same letters. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
So it is. I never noticed that before. There we are. It's not just educational about creations. We teach you words.
From educational content. So go on, carry on. And, I just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah, this one had a lot of things, because as soon as he said Halloween, I will admit that was in my mind, because I have wanted to make an arena utilizing that video since day one, and I have tried with so many different concepts we had. I won't name the pay-per-views that I've tried to get to build around to use, because I don't want to give away spoilers about names and all the rest of it, but there have been a good 3 or 4 arenas. The first thing I thought was brilliant. This tombstone effect that you're seeing right now would be brilliant for it. I'm dying to use this one. And
so was that the start point? Was that where you built it from?
No, well, I walked in knowing I was going to use this. And this is a good example of where I was coming from. Because with the EWA arena, the videos that you saw were added to fit the stage and everything else I made, sort of thing. This, I came in knowing I was going to use this video. And as I said, I don't start with the ring, I start with the stage. So I knew I was using that video, and I knew that header up there uses the same video that you use on the ring here.
Oh, okay.
So I basically went in, started from the ground, knowing what I was going to use, started building with just that sort of idea in my head. And then when I got to turning on the videos, I turned them on and really crossed my fingers that it worked. It worked.
So you didn't even build it with the videos on? That's bold.
No. Yeah, well, it's easier. It really is easy because it lets me just create rather than all of a sudden I'll say working down here and like glancing up and I'll end up doing this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like this let me just create and let the juices flow, and then I flicked them on and it worked. Now in contrast to that's the stage. With the ring, the first thing I do is turn on those videos. Because this is a little bit more important in my view, because that is there for when we get our wonderfully done up entrances that is put together beautifully by you. And then we get, well, you know, I've seen some of the entrances beforehand. Then what I do is I come here, I turn on the entrance, the videos here, and I get the work. Typically I normally start with the ring, but this one I actually started with the... I did it backwards. I started with the barricade.
Yeah, I like the barricade. I like the skulls being in the corners. I like that.
Yeah, cool. There's...
and the worn out effect on the EWA logo. It's very nice.
Oh, yeah, that was...
like
and if people looked closely, they'll probably notice that pattern gets used quite a bit because it's quite a versatile pattern, depending on how you stretch it out, how you move it, the way you rotate it, the colours you use through it.
You put that in red,
you can make it look
splatter. Like,
it is on some things. I've got it made where it's just... Because this is one of the rare ones you can actually two-tone the colouring.
Okay.
So you can just get some really nice effects going with it. Like, it's weird with it. Some patterns you can get going two-tone sort of thing, and others, no. It's not going to allow you.
You need to pan down now. Can we have a look at that ring map? That's just
something
else. That is just something else. Look
at
that.
This is,
That is incredible. Like,
I
have nothing else to say about that. It's just amazing. That is just...
This is just one of the other things I do is I'll go through CC, I'll go through the internet looking at free clip art. I don't even know where I got. I think I got this one. I don't know. I honest to God can't tell you because my console has so many images on it. So many. And this was just one of the many ones I had in there that I hadn't used yet. Like, I've probably got more images that I haven't used yet than I've actually got on here that I've used over all my arenas and all my creations. Like, I've got a mountain of them. This was one of them. Initially when I got it, I thought of a tattoo. And then it didn't work as a tattoo because what I found out is it's actually a reverse design. Where you're seeing the black, that's actually the color of the matte under it.
So the white bit is the actual image.
Image, so it was hard for me to use on anything. And when I was going through, I was hit the mat, and I've got it. Once people see the things coming, you'll notice that once I actually started with the first EWA arena where it is just a 2K pattern, you'll notice I've started actually getting creative and importing images and customizing them myself and getting way out of, you know, the limits of what the game would just give you as a standard. So I was just going through all my images, and I'm not kidding, where I just had this view and I was just scrolling. I was just like, nope, yep, that's the one, thank you. Stretched it out, checked it, and this was, as I went down the list, I found it, and I sort of memorized what ones I liked and what ones I didn't, and then sort of decided, but this is one of the rare ones. As soon as I got to this, I was like, yep, that's it, that's the color, moving on. And I did. Like, this one is this was a fun one for me to build. Again, this was one that probably people look at and it's like it's fairly really like basic and all the rest of it.
Sides. Like, I really like those.
Yes.
The ring aprons with the skulls coming in from the right and looking at the logo. Like, I like that. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Like, if people actually, you'll see the progression on my abilities if you go and look at especially people in EWA now. You know what I'm talking about. You guys have got a few of the arenas and all the rest of it. If you go and actually have a look at the ring apron on this side, you'll notice I've gotten from the EWA arena where it's just one of the standard patterns. I've just coloured blue and just went, that looks good, I'm leaving it, to now intricate sort of things like, I can get in. I have actually patterned the apron to give a look for when it's zoomed out. Like,
Yeah.
I get right into it now. Like, I'll go and put a texture on something and I'll zoom right out to where you'd actually be gameplay. I sit at this angle quite a bit. It's probably why I'm so used to seeing. I feel like I play 2K forever. I'll sit at this thing. It's like, oh, I'm not playing a game. I'm just staring at what looks like I am.
Yeah.
And then I'll go right back in and I'll change things, or I'll do this. This arena also holds a first.
Okay.
First time I did this. If I can get into it, put the EWA on the inside of the.
I saw that. It doesn't leap out at you like aggressively.
No.
It's just kind of a thing you can sort of spot halfway through a match and be like, oh, look at that.
I was worried it was going to be gaudy.
Yeah, it's a dark, it's a faded enough orange. Like,
yeah,
it's
it
a
was
dull orange, and that works.
Well, we haven't told everyone what you actually said with that Halloween's coming up, and I was all excited saying I'm going to do something. Mike did say he had a request. He did say it has to have orange. I do remember putting up a slight argument, and you're like, no, it's Halloween. Orange
Pumpkins
needs
are
to be
orange,
done.
right?
Yes, that's pretty much the list. I think pretty sure that's your wording.
Halloween is orange. End of.
By the time you'd actually even got into this line, I have already built half of this arena up in my head of how dark and sinister and evil it's going to be, and all of a sudden I'm seeing this message, it needs to have orange. I'm like, really? It needs to have orange. So it got orange.
But this is exactly what I was thinking, not like traffic cones. I wasn't like...
Oh, no, I was trying to think, how the hell do I squeeze orange and all that black that I've got pictured? And I managed to do it quite tastefully.
Yeah.
Like, I was worried, see, this is one of the things when I do with the patterns in the ring, I do get worried that the ring ropes will look off somehow, or like, and it's weird. You don't notice it when you're playing the game, but when you're creating, the ring ropes really stand out more when you're creating than when you're playing the game. You seem to sort of just
these near side ring ropes.
Almost.
You only see when someone bounces off them.
You sort of forget.
Yeah, they disappear. They disappear in your mind. You see through them and see the wrestlers on the other side. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And what you were saying about the EWA arena, Matt, is one of the things I had major concerns about this one, is this design right here, because this is probably the most intricate design I've put on any mats. A lot of the others have got flashy things, and well, it definitely is. I was worried when people are going to wrestle, is that going to be distracting to the viewer, to the people playing the game? Is it going to just look bad, just
to the
overall?
Poor commentator with ADD, yeah.
No, that's his problem, not mine. Jack up your meds. And no, it really worked out. Like, it's fun. Like, and I do get like the lettering here. It's actually I've gone in and changed the angle of each letter.
Oh, okay.
And the spacing is slightly different to that EWA over there.
So you haven't just typed in EWA, you've typed in E and moved it, and then typed in W and moved it.
Every time I type something like that, like even that trick and treat is slightly different to that.
Because of the aspect ratio of what it's on.
Not just the aspect ratio. Up here, this is one of the beautiful things I've discovered while doing arenas. Up here you see how I've done the outline of the black there?
Yeah.
And it looks great. And then when we go to into the crowd, apparently.
When we go through the crowd's faces, yeah.
Through the crowd. And when we go over here, I do the exact same thing, and I get a white border with it as well.
Oh. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. I assumed that was a different...
No, that is not deliberate. That is just because.
Because 2K. Well, it looks nice. It looks good. I never noticed it as a negative. I noticed it as a, oh, that's cool.
Oh, no. I'm not putting it out as, it's not necessarily negative. Once you learn it, you actually can roll with it.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things you sort of, you know, you figure out. Like, this is one of these arenas, again, I fiddled with a few things. Like, do I have the video post there? It turned out it looked better with the video post than without whatever I could do with a standard ring apron post. Mm-hmm. Some have it because you can't have two different videos there too. That's why, if anyone's ever wondering why with some of the arenas I've made, I've got a video post, but others I don't. It's because the pattern I want for the title or the little video there don't work as ring post. Yeah. And vice versa. I do have some arenas that don't have the video apron, but they got the video post. It's because the video apron sucks, so I don't have it. It's either that or it's just one of the things I really will say that is disappointing is you can only do these videos and edit over the top. You can't edit on any pay-per-view videos that they got available for you to use. Anything that's WWE or WCW or any of the in-game actual event stuff, you can't ride over the top or anything. You can't edit those whatsoever. The basic ones like they give you here have been the same for 3 years. That's probably why it's so easy for me to create now. They haven't changed anything really at all.
That'll be a mandate from Vince, so that no one can write "sucks" next to the WWE logo.
More than likely. I've always feared it's a copywriting thing and all the rest. But here's another annoying thing. You cannot, there is no option whatsoever to use WWE Superstar video parts for this.
Oh, yeah, like the mini-trons that play on the apron.
Yeah, or anything. Because I've had a few things, like, there's been a few, but, you know, you got those wrestlers that are real nice ones. Like, Dolph Ziggler in this game has got just those purple stars that float about, and people that have watched it know where that comes from. Yeah. Exactly. But I have tried to go use those for those things, because there are some wrestlers that have got a really nice, tasteful... I think Aleister Black's, in one of the years, there's just candles there. There's no, like, Aleister Black flashing on there or anything. It's very nice and generic. But you can't even use them. Oh, like, I couldn't even just sit it on there. And I'm really hoping with what they're saying with the next one they're releasing, they're going to really splash out and go big with it. I got my fingers crossed they do. And if, by some miracle, someone in the know of that group is listening, please give us some more customizations to it. Like, change some aspects up. Don't change the engine. It's pretty good. But
just more freedom.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one out there. Exactly. More freedom, more options available to us. I'd love it if I could actually change up the posts from here, or even, and I'm not saying go as far as I can make a video post different on each of these posts, because that's just stupid. But, you know, things like being able to create a little bit more freely with these announced deaths.
I like that.
Like, even though, this one is nice. And it's weird too. It's just so basic, but it just works so well.
It's only the announce desk. It can be basic. Like, I get that.
It is nice. Yeah. And that etching there is good.
Yeah, and I would say with regard to the video wall, New Day have a whole arena on this. Is it this game or is it 2K20?
It's on the game that must not be spoken.
Yeah, it's on the the game that shall not be named. But they've got a whole arena on that, so why can't we use people's video walls on the ringside? Like, you know, surely that could encourage people to make like the AJ Styles arena, like in the vein of the New Day arena.
And I'll let the cat out of the bag before someone in the comment section calls me out or something, in case it's just there. No, I don't really. Like, I played around with the 2K thing, but it was so glitchy and so buggy, and I think I broke down to cry. I'm not even kidding. I think I actually had tears in my eyes trying to make things on that game.
That you can't even use online. But let's not turn this into a massive, like, crapping all over 2K20 thing.
I'm just saying the whole admission, so if someone has played a lot of it and there are aspects they did change in 2K20, I will say right now that let us know in the comments. It would be great to know if there have been aspects they changed from 2K19 to 20 as far as arena making and belt making. Because, as I say, unfortunately, the game had a lot of promise and it looked great. It was just so buggy.
Yeah.
It's that simple. That's all that needs to be said. But no, this
is nice. Like, I'm looking forward to the show on Saturday from the usual perspective of we're just getting better and better with match quality and presentation and everything. But also, it's just going to look nice. It always looks nice, but this show is going to look awesome. Like, this is going to be the best Halloween show by far of anyone putting on YouTube. Look at it.
I don't want to give any spoilers until people actually go and watch it, but trust me when I say this one is if you've been watching EWA and you're loving it so far, trust me, this one is a must-watch because this is so unique and so different, and you won't see it again. This is not something we're going to pull out of the bag in 2 months because we don't have it. This is literally
not even next Halloween.
Not even pay-per-view. Yeah, no, it would be
this
totally
ain't happening again.
No, we have thought about how to make this unique, and it is unique.
Yeah,
by far.
100%.
It's great.
We'll. I think we'll close on that sentiment actually, because that's a very good little plug. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it on Saturday. Hit that bell so you get notified when the video goes live. It's gonna be. It's not edited. It's not commentated yet. I am so looking forward to commentating that because it's gonna be such a good show. Like. the creation process of the actual episodes. It's kind of. Oh, I've got a weird little message. Is that you on the bottom, or is that me?
Huh?
I've got like a voice command thing on the. It's gone away now. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's the process is like we put the match card up. People do the matches. People upload the matches. I download the matches. I edit it all together. I send it to Blackbane. We get on a call together and we both watch it simultaneously and call it together. Then I edit the commentary in. So by the time the video goes up, I have watched each episode like 3-4 times, and I'm never bored by the end of the fourth one, and that's testament, in my opinion. I've watched most of our events more than I've watched most of my favourite real-life wrestling matches at this point.
And I will say, you do amazing for people listening to commentary. You do well commentating it where you actually seem like you're watching it for the first time, not the 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th time.
Yeah, it helps with my memory not being great.
Yeah, and you probably watch so many, you're like, which one is this?
Yeah, exactly. And we're so many weeks ahead that it's been weeks since I've last seen those matches, like in full. So it's kind of fresh. But yeah, let's end with a cheap plug. Yep. Make sure you subscribe, watch along, see this arena in action on Saturday. It's gonna be a hell of a show. We both know what's coming, both in terms of results, but just in terms of concept, and we think you guys are gonna love it. So give it a watch. Let us know in the comments which is your favourite arena so far, and anything else you've thought over the course of this video. Or favourite creation, include the EWA title in that as well. Believe me, more amazing arenas coming. Never know, at some point in the future there may be more titles coming as well. Who knows? I don't know. Neither of us know. We don't run the place or anything. So, so yeah, definitely keep watching.
What, people run this place? I just figure we just open the cage doors and just let the monkeys run free.
That's what happens, and then me and Blackbane talk about it. But yeah, so yeah, leave a like on this video as well if you enjoyed this little trip down creation lane, seeing what goes into it. It's fascinating to me because I've tried building things for EWA in the very early days, and I went nope and passed it on, and Scott ended up picking it up. I think we both started at the same time, and I ditched out after like a couple of days, like I can't do this, and then Scott properly.
Couple of days? You're giving yourself some bloody credit there, aren't you? I don't even think you made it out the day.
Probably not. So yeah, leave some love in the comments and on the like button, and we will see you on Saturday for Trick and Treat.
Yeah, bye.